The South Carolina locker room is open and student athletes are available there. We're joined now in the main interview room by head coach Frank Martin and student athletes PJ Dozier, Sendarius Thornwell, Chris Silva, and Dwayne Notice. We'll ask Coach Martin to begin with an opening statement, and then we'll take questions first for the student athletes.
A lot of credit to Gonzaga. We struggled to defend them in the first half and kind of stopped playing offensively the right way in the first half at the end, the last 2.5, 3 minutes. But they had a lot to do with that. It wasn't self-inflicted wounds. But so proud of these guys. Like I've been saying for the last 3 weeks, the harder it gets, the tougher they stand. And every once in a while you get put down on the mat, and you better have courage to get off your back. And these guys do it every single time. So, but a lot of credit to Gonzaga.
Questions for the student athletes only. We're going to go to the center of the room.
Andrew Miller from the Post-Courier in Charleston. Sid, what did they do defensively to kind of make you work so hard and kind of limit your touches and your looks to the basket?
They just, clogged the paint on my drives. They forced me to pass it out on my drives and just protected the rim real well. That was really it. Just forced me to pass the ball on my drives.
Next questions to the right side, Eddie.
This is not really a question. This is Eddie House, Sirius XM. This is not really a question. I just want to say that I'm extremely proud of how you guys play as a former player. You guys play the way you're supposed to play, with heart, with grit. You never quit. Your coach never quit. You guys kept fighting. You guys gave me goosebumps. And just proud of you guys to play the way you guys play. Don't hang your head, man, and you got to keep pushing, keep fighting. And that's my statement. I don't have no question.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
A lot of respect, Eddie.
Next question is right toward the center of the room.
Hey, Sendarius, I know it's tough now, but can you kind of reflect on your 4 years and kind of what you've done for this program and where it's at now, and Dwayne as well?
Yeah, it's been great. 4 years I've had here, from the start to finish. It's been great. I'd like to thank everybody for the support. Coming in, we never thought we would be here, but we worked every day. We never gave up. Us seniors that came in the situation we was in, we never gave up. We believed in Coach from day one. From the day he stepped in my house and recruited me, we all believed him. And, we continued, we stayed at it. We stayed together and we didn't listen to anybody, and we continued to work until we got to this point right here. And, we appreciate everybody, all the fans, Gamecock Nation, for all the support. That was with us for over those 4 years.
And Dwayne, same question to you.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Just appreciative of the moment, appreciative of all the support we've gotten from all the fans, and the opportunity that Frank gave myself and my family to come to this school and this institution. And it's been open arm policy, and it's helped me grow as a man. I think each year, Sendarius, Justin, and I, we've grown as men, and we've grown also as basketball players. And I wouldn't, if I had to go back, I wouldn't change it.
Up front to David.
David Cloninger, the State. Sin, was the plan on the final free throw to intentionally miss it and hope for the rebound?
Yeah, the plan was to miss it left, and hopefully Chris could tap it out to somebody, and that was the plan.
Back left, Jim.
Thank you, guys. Jim Roop with Westwood One News. And any of or all of you can take this. But one of the things we've learned a lot from your coach over this tournament is the cornerstone of character that he instills and builds in you, and has since, I guess, you joined the team with him. Help us understand, if you can articulate, how that helps you handle something like today.
Chris, can you take that? And PJ next.
From the beginning, you prepare us for actions like that. When situation get tougher, you want to see how we handle it. And if we don't respond well, he's going to be here to support us and tell us what to do. Since the beginning of the season, that's what we work for, moments like this, and I mean, we try to do our best to respond the way we learn how to respond.
PJ, same question to you.
Yeah, just what you said, but I mean, I'm surprised that's all y'all learned from this guy. We learn so much from, every day he instills that characteristic that you're talking about in his players on and off the court. He teaches so many life lessons that you can also reflect back on basketball and use it towards basketball and everyday life. So that's just the big thing. That's the great thing about this guy, that he'll help you grow as a basketball player and as a person at the same time without you even really realizing it. So he's been doing that all year for us, and we're just thankful for it.
All the way to the left side.
Josh Peter with USA Today. For PJ and Sin, can you talk about what the plan was in the last play and how things unfolded?
Sindarius first, please, then PJ.
Which play? The free throw play or the? The plan was to Chris set a high ball screen on Roz's man, and I set a back screen on Chris's man, and Dwayne set a flare on me, and if I had an open shot, shoot it. If not, drive the baseline, and Chris pin in, screen in PJ's man on the back side and skip it over. That was the plan, but they fouled before we could go through with it.
And PJ, anything to add there?
That was a play right there.
To the right side of the room.
Simi Rieger, Tel Aviv, Israel. Tell us about the process that when you were recruited by Coach Martin, and what convinced you to come to South Carolina, and everything that he said to you, did it come true?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The process was great. Just the support that I got from everyone. Of course, you always had some people saying, don't go here, don't go there. But I wasn't really, I wasn't paying attention to them. I was looking to pick the best school for me, selfishly, and do what I had to do for myself. So the process was great. Me and Coach built a great relationship throughout the whole process at the very beginning. I used to always come to the games even before, we got to know each other. When he first got to South Carolina, I would come to the games to see, the progress that they was making year by year. It's just I had the utmost faith in Coach and what he has been doing for the program and what he will do. So that's just how that worked.
Final question for the student athletes in the center of the room, Zach.
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Sindarius, were you weakened at all by the illness? Were you at 100%?
Yeah, I was at 100%. I think the first half, I was a little fatigued a little bit, but that's still not an excuse for anything. But second half, I was fine. I was fine the whole game.
We want to thank Dwayne, Chris, Sindarius, and PJ for joining us here in the main interview room. They're going to head back to the South Carolina locker room, which continues to be open. Congrats on a great season and a great run, fellas. Questions for Coach Martin. We'll begin to the right of the aisle with Mark.
Coach, again, congrats on a great run here. The doubting in Gonzaga, them not being a power conference team, has persisted for a while. You obviously have played both in your conference schedule and in the past couple weeks a ton of great teams and a ton of great power conference teams. Is there anything that distinguishes them now that you've played them from those teams?
It's not 1997 anymore. They were Cinderella and all that pretty stuff in 97. They've been in this thing for 20 consecutive years. They're as high major can get.
To the left of the aisle.
Josh Peter, USA Today. Frank, 12 seconds left. You're down by 3. What's the plan?
Exactly what Sindarius described. I figured there was enough time where they were not going to foul right away to prevent us from shooting a 3. But when you got fifth-year seniors across the board, like they do, they don't make mistakes. And they took away the initial hit. And then, like Sindarius said, the plan was if they took away the initial hit, we're going to drive hard baseline and pin in PJ's man and get a backside 3. But I'm not sure who the young man guarding Sindarius was. They kind of waited, and as soon as he held the ball for that take, they hand-checked and put us on the line. And then we have a free throw play that we run, I got to watch the film. I think Chris either they boxed him out real good or he froze, one or the other. But you kidding me? We're not even in this game if it's not for him. Unfortunate.
In that same area on the left side.
Aaron Torres, Fox Sports. Just curious, throughout the season you saw so many great guards, but the impact that Nigel Williams-Goss had on this game for Gonzaga.
Yeah, he was in total control of the game for the first 30 minutes or so. Total control of the game, and I probably should have extended our defense earlier in the game. I was concerned that we wouldn't, because I know they're real good, and I was concerned that we wouldn't have enough juice left in the tank to finish off the game. So I was kind of holding that. I didn't expect to be down 14 and have to use it, but eventually when we got down so much, we had no choice. He's good. He's real good.
Coach, just to the left of the right side aisle here.
Judy Gatson from WYS. Coach, first of all, congratulations on an incredible season. There are a lot of kids back home in South Carolina who are cheering their hearts out for you today. They dream of playing for you one day. What do you want to say to them as fans of you and the team, and also about how to respond to disappointments like this?
There's something powerful when you impact others. And what these kids have done, it's pretty special. When you get people to travel across the country by the masses because they believe in what you do, it's powerful stuff. And they've impacted our community in an unbelievable way, which is worth so much more than the score of a game. It's what it's all about. These kids are great role models. There's a lot of young kids that want to be the next, and there is Thornwell, Justin Mackey. I don't get to coach them anymore, but they're part of my life forever.
We'll take the next question just to the right of the aisle.
Carlos Nava, ESPN Deportes. Coach, me gustaría conocer sus impresiones en español para su audiencia. Y número dos, ¿qué sigue para usted y para el programa después de lo que sucedió este año?
Esto ha sido una experiencia increíble. Pensar que hace 5 años nosotros jugábamos juegos y no había nadie en la arena para vernos jugar. Y 5 años después estamos aquí en el Final Four. Averajamos un promedio de 14,000 personas por juego. Hemos creado una atmósfera increíble en la comunidad, como los muchachos se representan. Yo estoy muy entusiasmado con los muchachos en el programa. Los que regresan tienen que entender qué difícil es el camino este. Y los que se van han creado una atmósfera, un cariño, una habilidad de hacer muchas personas creer y sonreír, que son las cosas más importantes en la vida, cuando uno puede coger a otras personas y que ellos crean y se enamoren con lo que está haciendo uno. Yo estoy súper entusiasmado con el programa nosotros y en el camino que estamos. Un juego muy duro contra un equipo muy bueno y fallamos muchos tiros.
On the right side.
Simi Rieger from Tel Aviv. Frank, last time I saw you here in the States, had a great thing going at K-State. What made you change to go to South Carolina? And the second part is, what do you look for in a kid when you recruit him?
Eric Hyman convinced me that I was the human being that he needed. Eric Hyman was the athletic director who hired me at South Carolina. Him and Harris Bastides convinced me that that I was the person that was willing to roll up his sleeves and change the whole dynamic that existed at South Carolina for men's basketball. And I kind of enjoyed the idea of that challenge. And I don't know, I guess that's the dumb in me, that I like to take on difficult things. I've never tasted easy, so I don't know what easy's all about. And we took on the challenge. My staff, I can't say enough for those guys, their families, we were in the top 25 program. We had the best team we had in our time there coming back. And I fell in love with the idea of trying to rebuild what Frank McGuire built once upon a time. And I just couldn't say no. I believed in the people.
Final question for Coach, all the way to the back and on the left.
John Whittle, thebigspur.com. Frank, how do you want this team to be remembered? What kind of traits, when people look back 10, 15, 25 years, how do you want this group to be remembered?
Exactly the way this game played out. Exactly the way the game played out. We were taking on the number 1 seed, team that was number 1 in the country a couple weeks ago. And with nothing but fifth-year seniors. And we found ourselves in a difficult place during the course of the game. We didn't have the resolve, for whatever reasons, I don't know, to fight the way that we needed to for the first 30 minutes of the game. And I told our players a story about a JV team that I coached once upon a time that had a bunch of young kids, didn't understand the necessity to be a good teammate, to play together. And I took them to wrestle against the wrestlers on our school team, and every one of them got pinned. Every one of our guys got pinned. And I utilized that to make them understand that if you want to be on your own and do your own thing, try wrestling. Not very good at it. If you want to be good as a unit and you need help to get off your back when you're on your back, then you better be a good teammate. And that's what this team did tonight. That's what they've done their whole careers. That's what they've done the whole year. Is we've gotten put on our backs a couple times, but we don't lay there. We figure out a way to get off our backs and get back up and fight to the end. And that's why I'm so proud of these guys and what they've built, and how hard they fought to get a lot of people to smile, a lot of people to care. When you get people to smile and care, you're obviously doing something right, and that's what these kids have done.
We want to thank Coach Martin for joining us and congratulate Coach on a great season and a great run in March and now April.